Hi guys, today we're going to be doing Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and it's part 8, and if you want to see part 9, then you should like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. We're going to be finishing chapter 4, so let's get to it. A muggle, said Hagrid. It's what we call non-magic folk like them. Oh yeah, we're going to start on page 53. And it's your bad luck. You grew up in a family, the biggest muggles I've ever laid eyes on. We swore when we took him in we'd stop the rubbish, said Uncle Vernon. Swore we'd stamp it out of him. Wizard indeed. You knew, said Harry. You knew I'm a wizard? Knew? Shrieked Uncle Petunia. Suddenly knew, of course we knew. We could you not be. My dreaded sister being what she was. And, she got a letter just like that, and she disappeared off to that school. And came home every vacation on her pockets full of frog spawn, turning teacups into rats. I was the only one who saw her was that she was a freak. But my mother and father, oh no, it was Lily. This was Lily that they were so proud of, having a witch in this family. She stopped to draw a deep breath, and then went ratting on. It seemed she had been waiting for this for all her 4 years. Then she met that Potter at school. And they left and got married and had you. Of course, I knew the same, just as strange as adorable. Then, if you please, she went on and got herself blown up, and we landed with you. Harry got very white. As soon as he found his voice, he said, "Blown up." Then told me they died in the car crash. Car crash, roared Harry, jumping up so angrily that the Dursleys scuttered into the corner. How could a car crash kill Lily and James Potter? It's an outrage, a scandal. Harry Potter's known for his story when every kid in the world knows his name. But why? What happened? Said Harry asked urgently. His anger faded from Harry's face. He looked up obnoxious. I never expected this, he said in a low, worried voice. I had no idea. When Dumbledore told me there might be trouble getting hold of ya, how much ya didn't know. Harry, I don't know if I'm the right person to tell ya, but someone gotta. Ya can't go off to Hogwarts not knowing. They threw a dirty look at the Dursleys. Well, it's best ya know, and I can tell ya. Mind, I tell ya everything. It's a great mystery, parts of it. He sat down, stared at his fire for a few seconds, and then said, "It begins, I suppose, with a person called, but it's incredible you don't know his name. Everyone in our world knows. Who? Well, I'm not saying the name if it can help. No one does. Why? Why not? Gump and Gavoyles. Harry, people are still scared. Bimley, this is difficult. See, there was a wizard who went bad as he could go. Worse than worse. His name was Hagrid. Gulped, and no words came out. Could you write it down? Harry suggested. Nah, I can't spell it. All right, Voldemort. Harry shuddered. Don't make me say it again. Anyway, this wizard about 20 years ago started looking for followers. Got 'em. 2. Some were afraid, just wanted to be his power cause. He was getting himself power all right. Dark days. Harry didn't know which to trust. Didn't dare get friendly with strange wizards or witches. Terrible things happened. I'm taken over. Course some up to him, and he killed him horribly. This one only safe places left is Hogwarts. Reckon Dumbledore's the only one you know who's afraid of. Didn't dare try talking the school. So not just anyway. Now your mom and dad were a good witch and wizard, as I ever knew. Head boy and girl at Hogwarts in their day. Suppose our mystery is why no who never tried to get them off their side. Probably knew they were too close to Dumbledore to want anything to do with the dark side. Maybe he thought he could persuade. Maybe he just wanted to outrage. He just wanted out of the way. All anyone knows is he returned to the village where you were living on Halloween 10 years ago. You were a year old. He came to your house and Hagrid suddenly pulled a dirty, spotted handkerchief and blew his nose. This sounded like a foghorn. Sorry, he said, but it is sad. Your mom and dad were nicer people. You couldn't find anyway. You know who killed them? And this was a real mystery for the thing. He tried to kill you, too. He wanted to make a clean job of it, I suppose, or maybe how you got the mark on your forehead. It was not an ordinary cut. It's what you got from powerful, evil, cursed touches. You took care of your mom and dad and your house, even if it didn't work for you. And that's why you're famous, Harry. No one lived after he decided to kill him. No one expected you, and he decided to kill some of the best witches and wizards of all ages. The McConnens, the Bones, and you were only a baby, and you lived. Something very painful was going on in Harry's mind. As Harry's light got more clear than he had remembered before, and he remembered something else. For his first time in his life, a high, cold, cruel laugh. Hagrid was watching him sadly. Took ya from your ruined house myself on Dumbledore's orders. Brought ya to this load of old tosh, said Uncle Vernon. Harry jumped. He had almost forgotten the Dursleys were there. Uncle Vernon certainly seemed to be back of his courage. He was glaring at Hagrid with his fists were clenched. Now you listen here, boy, he snarled. I accept there's something strange about you. Probably nothing good a good beating wouldn't have cured. As for all about your parents, well, they were weirdos, no denying it. The world is better off without them, in my opinion. As for all they got, getting mixed up with these wizarding types, just what I expected. Anyway, knew they'd come to the sticky end. But at the moment, Hagrid leapt from the sofa and drew a battered pink umbrella from inside his coat, pointing this at Uncle Vernon like a sword. He said, I'm warning you, Dursley. I'm warning you. One more word. In danger to be speared on the end of the umbrella by a bearded giant. Uncle Vernon's courage failed again. He flattened himself against the wall and fell silent. That's better, said Hagrid, breathing heavily and sitting back on the sofa, which this time sagged down right to the floor. Harry, meanwhile, still had questions to ask, hundreds of them. But what happened to sorry, I mean you know who? Good question. Harry disappeared, vanished same night he tried to kill you. Makes you even more famous. That's the biggest mystery. See, he was getting more and more powerful. Why'd he go? Some say he died. Call swabs, in my opinion. Do know if he had enough human left in him to die. Some say he's still out there, bidding his time but I don't believe it. People who was on his side came back to ours. Some of them came kind of trance. Don Recknan, he's still out there somewhere, but lost his powers, too weak to carry on. But something about you finished him, Harry. Something's going on that night. He hadn't counted. I do not know what it was. No one does. But something about you stumped him all right. He'd spent his life clouding on Dudley and bullied by Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon. If he was really a wizard, why hadn't he been turned into warty toward every time they tried to lock him in his cupboards? If he was once defeated in the greatest sorcerer in the world, how come Dudley had been able to kick him around like a football? Hagrid, he said quietly, I think you must have made a mistake. I don't think I can be a wizard. To his surprise, Hagrid chuckled. Not a wizard, eh? Never made such things to when you was scared or angry. Harry looked into the fire. Harry looked into the fire. Now he came to think of it. A very odd thing that looked like ever made by his aunt and uncles furious with, chased by Dudley's gang. He had somehow found himself out of their reach. Dreaded was to school with that ridiculous haircut. He managed to make it grow back. And the very last time Dudley had hit him, he got his revenge. Without even realizing he was doing it, hadn't he set a boa constrictor on him? Harry looked at Hagrid, smiling, and saw that Hagrid was positively beaming at him. See, said Hagrid, Harry Potter is not a wizard. You wait. You'll be famous at Hogwarts. But Uncle Vernon wasn't going to give in without a fight. To Stonewall High, he had been grateful for it. I've read those letters, and he needs sorts of rubbish spell books and wands, and if he wants to go, a great muggle like you won't stop him, growled Hagrid. Stop Lily and James Potter's son going to Hogwarts. You're mad. His name been down ever since he was born. He'd off to the finest school of witchcraft and wizardry in the world. 7 years there had he won't know himself. You will be with youngsters of some own sort for a change, and he will be the greatest headmaster Hogwarts had ever had. Albus Dumbledore. I'm not paying for some crackpot old fool. I'm trying to teach him magic tricks, yelled Uncle Vernon. But he had finally gone too far. Hagrid seized his umbrella and whirled it. Never, he thundered. Insult. Albus Dumbledore in front of me. He brought the umbrella, swishing it down in the air, pointing at Dudley, where there was a flash of velvet light, a sound of a firecracker, and a sharp squeal in a second. Dudley was dancing in the spot, had his hands collapsed in a fat bottom, howling in pain. When he turned his back on them, Harry saw a curly pig tail poking through a hole in his trousers. Uncle Vernon roared, pulling Aunt Petunia and Dudley into another room. He cast one last terrified look at Hagrid and slammed the door right behind them. Hagrid looked down at his umbrella and stroked his beard. Shouldn't lost me temper, he said ruefully, but it didn't work anyway. Mean to turn him into a pet, but I suppose he was so much like a pig anyway. He got nothing left to do. He cast a sideways look at Harry and his bushy eyebrows. I'm grateful you didn't mean to anyone at Hogwarts, and I'm not supposed to magic, strictly speaking. I'm allowed to do a bit to follow you, get your letters and stuff. One reason I was so keen to take on my job. Why were you expelled? It's getting late, and we have lots to do tomorrow, said Hagrid loudly. Gotta get up to town. Get all your books and that. He took off his thin black coat and threw it to Harry. You can keep under that, he said. Don't mind if it wriggles a bit. I think it's got a couple odorments of the pockets. I hope you like that part 8. I hope you like part 8, and I hope to see you at part 9. Bye!